Welcome to this edition of Oxford News This Week, bringing you this edition in our headlines. The Guidepost report released just the other day. Also, Memorial Maples program continues to grow. That and more. Sit back, enjoy. You're watching another edition of Oxford News This Week. Welcome back to Oxford News This Week. Following the release of its independent investigation report into the Oxford High School shooting, Guidepost Solutions held 3 town hall meetings last Thursday for community members to ask questions and learn more about the report itself. The independent investigation report was released on the 30th of October. A nearly 600-page report from Guidepost Solutions concluded that the shooter was not identified as a threat because individuals at the Oxford High School failed to recognize on November 30th of 2021 that the shooter's conduct with statements, drawings suggested that he might cause physical harm at the school. Our own Terry Stiles was at the meeting, and she has this to report.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I just got done with number 1 of 3 sessions that Guidepost, the independent investigation firm, is giving to the public of Oxford on the November 30th shooting. For it being the middle of the day, there were quite a few people there with quite a few questions. Let's watch.
Are you implying that there was another possible chance? Are you referring to the I and Alice? That there was no, I'm sorry, this is hard.
No, that's fine.
That there was no information sharing of where the shooter was to stop before the other 3.
So I think the point we were trying to make there is that once the shooter came out of the bathroom without a security guard there or somebody with the means to stop him at that point, the last best chance was when he was in front of Hopkins and EJAC and they were trying to figure out what to do. Had there been somebody standing there, the first students who were shot, maybe something could have been done there. We didn't see that anybody was assigned to monitor the cameras in an emergency, and what we were trying to say is that had someone been assigned to do that, once they were safe and secure in the office, right? You can't go and monitor cameras if you're fighting for your safety, but assuming you could get to a safe place in the office and it's locked in, if someone could get to the camera, then you'd be able to use the I in Alice, inform. And that is informing not only the students who are hiding, the teachers and staff who are hiding and locking down, who didn't evacuate, but also law enforcement coming into the school, specifically Deputy Lewert, who was coming back, and had he been given the information, maybe he could have got to the bathroom. You know, for those who were shot first, you know, there was nothing they could do. The shooter was right on them when he walked out of the bathroom. So that's the point I think we were trying to make there.
So it was a pretty good, calm session. And now the school on November 9th will also present the same report and have questions regarding that report. That's November 9th at the Oxford Middle School at 6:30.
Thanks a lot, Terry. Community members are also encouraged but not required to submit questions in writing prior to meetings to Guidepost, oxfordguidepostsolutions.com. There will be a follow-up meeting released by the school. OCTV will also be there streaming that live as we did the 3 meetings prior. Oxford Township Parks and Rec staffers planted an additional 32 trees on the Seymour Lake Park as part of a Memorial Maples program. Established in 2018, the Memorial Maples program gives members of the public an opportunity to purchase maple trees for $300 each, have them planted Oxford's most popular park as a way to honor deceased family members and friends. An engraved memorial stone is then placed at the base of each tree. The stone is included with the fee. For the purpose of the program, twofold. First and foremost, it allows members of the public to honor memories of their loved ones with living tributes. Objects like park benches can make for a nice memorial, but a donation that grows objects that change with seasons and are provided shade in the sunny days of summer. Objects don't improve air quality. The other objects don't improve air quality. However, these objects do. Trees, on the other hand, do all the things like planting a tree in the memory of a loved one is more than just a symbol. It's something that offers a tangible benefit to others and the environment at the same time. Secondly, the program is designed to help beautify Oxford's most frequently used park. As these maple trees grow and mature, will provide a spectacular view when their leaves change colors in the fall. The plan is to create a breathtaking river of crimson that will run through the park every autumn, adding yet another attraction to draw a delight to visitors to the Memorial Maples program. You can contact that program at Parks and Rec 248-628-1720. You can order forms if you'd like to possibly have a tree placed in somebody's memory. During the meeting on the October 10th meeting, the Oxford Village Council approved a bid from Birmingham Seal Coat in the amount of $25,000 plus for a crosswalk installation by a vote of 4-1. Maureen Helmuth casting the lone no vote. The crosswalks are expected to be placed along West Burdick Street at the intersection of Pleasant Street and across from Pontiac Street near the Oxford Elementary School. The village only received one bid for the project, for which the village manager, Joe Murdor, credits the lack of exposure to the actual bid process, Mitten and Bidnet.com. These organizations help aid in posting and procurement of project bids. Originally, the request for crosswalks came to the village as both a resident request as well as a council request, especially the one located near the elementary school. The project was previously discussed by council several months ago, and the cost is coming to a bit of a shock to some of the members of the council. The cost, however, as it was negotiated down in recent months, coming out to about half the price of the council than what they expected. Concrete for the sidewalks was poured last week. That'll allow the village DPW to move forward by installing crosswalk signage, depending whether stripping and anything that else needs to be done could actually be finished up next spring. For 70 years, Dordt Financial Credit Union has had a mission to serve the needs of the communities they were in and operate. Now the credit union has turned its sights on Orion Township. Dordt Financial opened a brand new branch on Brown Road in Orion Township. President and CEO Brian Waldron said the credit union wanted to expand in Orion Township. It was a perfect fit for the credit union and its employees, and the Orion Community Dordt Financial is a full-service credit union providing full range of banking, financial services. Membership is also open to everyone in the greater Orion area. In addition to banking services, the credit union also offers investment advising, a wide range of loans and credit services, knowledgeable staff to assist members. Another of Dordt Financial's missions is to support local community and serve them volunteering by giving back during a ribbon-cutting grand opening on October 19th. Dordt Financial executives presented a $2,500 check to the Orion Community Foundation, Orion Township new foundation that will distribute the funds to area nonprofits, community, and those in need. Orion Township trustee Matt Pfeiffer accepted the check on behalf of the community of the DFCU. Community Engagement Coordinator Nicole Sterling launched the credit union's volunteer program, saying employees have the really to embrace and help others in the community. Dordt Financial Credit Union is located at 831 Brown Road. Visit DordtOnline.org for more information if you're interested in starting an account or even volunteering. Downtown Oxford is getting a taste of the Tuscany and a new outdoor seating. The patio project, allegedly behind creative embroidery in the modern marketplace. The project, which is expected to be mostly completed by the third week in November, will also feature a mural by the Oxford High School graduate Nick Hodeman to help create a quiet, attractive space for the downtown visitors to spend their time. A year ago, the Oxford Downtown Development Authority received a $50,000 T-Mobile hometown grant and have been working toward the project ever since. This is the third big place-making project that the DDA will work on. Mostly the DDA opened up its front office behind the Red Naps in the northeast quadrant of downtown, funding for which came at $250,000 from Consumers Energy, a grant that was secured. The DDA received last year. Last year, the DDA also held a grant opening for the Washington Square in the northwest quadrant of the downtown area. Many other grants, including T-Mobile and leftover funds from the Consumers Energy Grant, for a mural and subsequent seating area expected to also feature a string of lights in the archway leading to the alley. Concrete work in the stretch from Burdick behind the shops and in the northern edge of the area near the covered wagon. And that's going to wrap it up with our news segment. We are a little bit lax in sports as we are in the middle of from fall into the winter. But we want to thank our friends to the south, Lake Orion, the Dragons. They will play in the playoffs. We here in Oxford wish them luck in their upcoming endeavor. Dave Kenny will have Auto Talk and Science in the News, and we will be back to close it out on Oxford News This Week.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Canine Stray Rescue does just that. Rescue stray dogs for new families. But they need your help. Become a volunteer at Canine Stray Rescue League of Michigan. Take dogs for walks, help them socialize with others, and help them get adopted. Fill out an application and help a family add a new member today.
Hello, this is Lomas Brown, ex-Detroit Lion, and you're watching OCTV. That's Oxford Community TV. Check it out.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. Chevrolet said its electric Equinox crossover will be priced at nearly $50,000 when it arrives in dealerships early next year, though the brand still plans to bring a lower price trim level to market in 2024. The first trim level to go on sale, the 2RS, costs $48,995 with front-wheel drive and $52,395 with all-wheel drive. prices include shipping but do not factor in the $7,500 federal tax credit for new electric vehicle purchases. The base Equinox EV with front-wheel drive will cost $34,995 with shipping, 17% more than Chevrolet's $30,000 approximate target. It will now offer a General Motors estimated 300-mile driving range, topping the 250 miles brand leaders previously projected. We think landing at $34,995 is in that ballpark there, Chevrolet CMO Steve Majerles told reporters on October 30th. I think we're pretty proud of where the price landed there. The Equinox EV2RS front-wheel drive version will have an estimated EP-certified 319-mile range, according to Chevy. Standard features include a 17.7-inch color infotainment touchscreen, 21-inch black wheels, heated front seats and steering wheel, Google built-in technology, and multiple safety features. Chevy said it planned to open the ordering process for the Equinox EV2RS on November 2nd. The brand said nearly 200,000 consumers have expressed interest in the vehicle. Chevrolet did not take reservations for the electric Equinox and now will work to turn hand raisers into buyers. GM is delaying the launch of the Equinox EV and two other EVs by several months, CEO Mary Barra said on the company's third-quarter earnings call, citing softening demand. The automaker said it no longer will provide EV production targets, but still expects to have capacity in North America to build 1 million EVs a year by the end of 2025. GM is pushing back production of the Chevrolet Silverado EV and GMC Sierra EV in a second plant, the Orion Assembly Plant in Michigan, until late 2025. Chevrolet's first mainstream EV, the Bolt EV and EUV, will end production at the Orion plant at the end of this year to make way for retooling for the electric pickups. Scott Bell, Vice President of Global Chevrolet, said told reporters on October 3rd, "We don't want to say goodbye to the Bolt for too long, and that there are no plans to extend its run while waiting for the next generation Bolt to arrive on GM's Ultium platform." Dealerships likely will have Bolts available into February or March, Majerles said. The high-end Silverado EV RST, one of the EVs being slightly delayed, now is expected to arrive next spring, Bell said. We're still very bullish on the EV market and very bullish about our position in that market, having a vehicle with Ultium in the three biggest segments in the industry, Bell said, citing the Equinox EV, the larger Blazer EV, and the Silverado EV. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
Outdoors, then there's a good chance you could come across a young fawn. And normally, young fawns are found alone because their mothers place them there to be safe. A young fawn has very little scent, and the mother will only come in just a couple times a day in order to feed it and leaves quickly so that she doesn't leave behind her scent. So if you find a young fawn curled up in the grass, that's actually the safest place for it to be. Enjoy that moment, but don't touch it or move it. The mother will be back soon.
Only licensed rehabilitators can legally possess wildlife, so please leave wildlife in the wild. For a list of licensed rehabilitators throughout the state, visit michigan.gov/wildlife.
Have you liked us on Facebook yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Just go to your Facebook page, go to the search bar, and type in Oxford Community Television.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Scientists trying to work out where a starfish's head is have come to a startling conclusion. It's effectively the whole animal. As well as solving this long-standing mystery, the finding will help us understand how evolution generates the dramatic diversity of animal forms on Earth. Starfish, also known as sea stars, belong to a group of animals called echinoderms, which include sea urchins and sea cucumbers. Their strange body plans have long puzzled biologists. Most animals, including humans, have a distinct head end and a tail end with a line of symmetry running down the middle of their body, dividing it into two mirror image halves. Animals with this two-sided symmetry are called bilaterians. Echinoderms, on the other hand, have 5 lines of symmetry radiating from a central point and no physically obvious head or tail. And yet, they are closely related to animals like us and evolved from a bilaterian ancestor. Even their larvae are bilaterally symmetrical and later radically reorganizing their bodies as they metamorphose into adults. Those profound differences make it hard for scientists to find and compare equivalent body parts in bilaterians to work out how echinoderms evolved. The morphology cannot tell you anything almost, says Laurent Formery at the Stanford University in California. It's just too weird, he says. Formery and his colleagues decided to look at a set of genes known to direct the head-to-tail organization of all bilaterians. In these animals, these genes are turned on or expressed in stripes in the outer layer of the developing embryo. The genes that are expressed in each stripe define which point on the head-to-tail axis it will become. The idea was to see if the gene expression patterns would reveal a molecular anatomy hidden in the echinoderms. These particular suite of genes is just good for exploring animal diversity in its most extreme forms, says team leader Chris Lowe, also at Stanford. I think echinoderms represent a really extreme experiment in how to use this bilateral network to produce a very, very different body plan. To the team's surprise, the genes that determine the head end of the bilaterians were expressed in a line running down the middle of each arm on the underside of the starfish. The next headmost genes were expressed on either side of this line, and so on. Even more strangely, the genes normally expressed in the trunk of bilaterians were missing in the outer layer of the animal. This suggests that starfish have jettisoned their trunk regions and freed up the outer layer to evolve in new directions, says Formery. The findings show that the body of an echinoderm, at least in terms of the external body surface, is essentially a head walking about the seafloor on its lips, says Thurston LaCalle at the University of Victoria in Canada, who wasn't involved in the study. Animals like us may have kept their trunks to escape predation by swimming away. Echinoderms hunkered down and armored themselves so they didn't need a trunk, says LaCalle. The idea that echinoderms are head-like animals as interesting and powerful, says Andreas Haaland at the University of Guelph in Ontario, Canada. It raises some very important and fundamental questions about how ecological factors shape the evolution of anatomy, he says. Finding underlying conserved patterns really provides critical insights into how development occurs. Wow. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
Canine Stray Rescue is Oxford's own local dog rescue. Each year they take in hundreds of dogs and bring them into suitable homes. A certified nonprofit organization, Canine Dog Rescue strives to give pound dogs a new leash on life. To donate, adopt, or even volunteer, call them at 248-628-0435 or go to their website, dogsaver.org, and click on the Canine Stray Rescue League link.
Hey, this is former Detroit Lion Rob Rubick and former Lapeer, Michigan school teacher. You're currently watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television. Enjoy it.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back to Oxford News this week. Once again, we didn't have we had no sports, but we want to congratulate our friends from the South, the Lake Orion Dragons, as they secured a bid in the playoffs for Lake Orion football. Anyways, once again, a lot of emotion stirred this past week with the release of the Guidepost report. Again, this community definitely going to be delving through that over the next few months and probably years to come. Once again, a lot of emotion stirred in the community. Again, we here at OCTV tried to bring you a balanced coverage of all that happened. OCTV can be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the ATT UVerse system. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, or even Roku. If you have a show idea or possibly would like to be one of our volunteers, contact us, OCTV. You can give our office a call at 248-628-9658. A very special thank you to the producer and director, Kyle Snage. Also the news writer this week, Allison Miller. She's taking her midterm, so I had to write this one myself. Editor, Marissa Haruska. Also programmer, Connie Miller. Program coordinator, Dan Zweiss. Station manager, Terry Stiles. For everyone here at OCTV, I'm Jim Hughes, hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next time. And again, we will take a look at Oxford News this week.